It's another beautiful day, and our message this morning is titled The Three Magic Words in Marriage. These three magic words are thank you, I'm sorry, and please. Thank you is a word used to show gratitude for what a person has done. I'm sorry is a word that is used to show our acts of remorsefulness, our disappointment, and wishing that we had done different things in a different way. Then, please is a polite way of making a request. As ordinary and mundane these three words may seem to you and I, it is a simple formula to a marital success. If well understood and applied appropriately, it helps couples to build a solid and a joyful marriage. The book of Proverbs chapter 15 verse 1 says, soft answers turneth away wrath, but grievous words stirs up anger. What are very important in marriage, because in marriage 90% of the things we do is to talk and talk, to express our emotions, to express our feelings, to express our dissatisfaction, our opinions, our views, and our insecurities. We can only do all these things through the use of words, either negatively or positively. Communication is insignificant if the other party does not understand what you are talking about. And most of our quarrels and misunderstandings in marriages would have been avoided if we have followed the biblical injunction of soft answers. Though we may see these three words as insignificant, but its effect on the hearer works wonders. God will not come down to help us speak to our spouse, no matter how spiritual you may seem to be. But we will be the one to speak to our spouses by ourselves. That is why marriage is an institution where we do not graduate from. It's an institution we do not collect certificates. So we must learn the art of using pleasant words as much as possible and avoid being harsh or rash at every point in time. No matter how furious we may seem to be or angry we may seem to be, we should try as much as possible to always calm down and think it through. Whatever we are saying, we should be sure that it's not going to be hurtful to the other party. The use of thank you is very, very important. It is a sign of showing appreciation to what a person has done. It doesn't necessarily mean your partner should buy you a gift before you appreciate. You can appreciate the presence of that person in your life. That you can use words such as, you are my immeasurable words. Thank you for being a better part of me. Thank you for being my better half. Thank you for being the right partner. Thank you for running this journey with me together. There are so many things to thank your spouse for. When you are having your meals and she has finished cooking your meals, you see the meals, appreciate her for what she has done. Sometimes we can even take them out of that our marriage environment and appreciate us and appreciate ourselves. Let us try as much as possible to appreciate ourselves. You don't necessarily mean to have to spend, depending on your capacity, just to say thank you. Thank you for being a good father to our children. Thank you for being a good spouse. Thank you for being a good mother to our kids. Thank you for loving me as Christ loved the church. There are so many things we need to thank our partners for. And you will agree with me that in our marriage sometimes it could be boring at a point in time. But all this thing, aside from the fact that these words helps us to have built a solid foundation and a solid relationship with our spouses, it is also a little sparks. It adds little sparks to our marriages. Sometimes in our marriages, with so much responsibility, so much stress, we want to give up. We are at the verge of we want to let it out. You just want to take a break from all the the marriage circles, the children, the husband, the wives, and all that. But all these words helps to uplift our spirits. It helps to strengthen us and also to build bond between ourselves and our spouses. That is why we must try as much as possible to incorporate all these words in our daily interactions. The use of I'm sorry. I'm sorry is a very important one. Most of us make it so big that we can't say to our spouses. Whenever you have done something wrong, let us try as much as possible to take responsibilities for our actions, and not just saying sorry for saying it, but meaning it from the depth of your heart. A genuine remorsefulness that even your partner can see through your eyes that you are really remorseful and not going back to the wrongs that you have done. This is what makes it real. Most of us, we find it very well. You agree with me that there are some separations that have occurred in marriages over the years that I'm sorry would have fixed it, but the other partner waiting for the other partner to say sorry. I was like that before I got married. Even when I got married, my first year, second year in marriage, I find it very difficult to say sorry. I'll be like, sorry for what now? It's not like that. It's not that kind of marriage. You agree with me that in marriage, there are some things marriage adds to you, and there are some things, some attitude that it takes from you. As we grow in marriage, we need to learn to use all these words. It's built bonds between ourselves and our spouses. Also, the use of please. Please is very, very important. You need to be polite as much as possible. I want to direct this to our husbands, the men. Most of the time you feel authoritative over us. We know that you are the head of the family and we are not competing that role with you. But try as much as possible to make a request politely. Make a request. It's not when you come, you say, dish my food. I'm hungry, get me my food, where's my food? And you talk it. Let us loosen up a bit. We are your friend. Your spouse should be your friend, should be someone you can talk to mutually. Sometimes we are even authoritative when it comes to sex, our sexual lives. Let's not be like that. If you are authoritative in your sex life, how will it go? How will it go? Please let us try as much as possible to use all these words, and they will perform magic in our marriages in the name of Jesus. I don't know that spark that you need in your marriage to revive the fire and you keep the fire of the love burning. But as you do all these things, I pray that God will add that love, we establish that love over and over again in your marriage in the name of Jesus. Have a good day.